Yeah, hey everybody out there in YouTube land. We're early, but fuck it, nobody cares. I don't care. We're here and we're ready to talk about the Penguin finale. So for those of you who watch this later, which is basically everyone, no one gets to hear any of this until you rewatch it, or you press play and then rewind and then start from the beginning where we restarted now, and then you speed it up and catch up to us. Like maybe put us on 1.25 and you'll catch up really fast.
There you go.
This is Rob at Smirking Reviews. And as always, to finish off this series with me, and has been here since the beginning, even though we missed last week due to insanity. Yep, I can still fail to do the thing where I point at my co-host, Darren Jakes from D's Reviews, who's having a hard time right now.
I'm on vacation. That's why you didn't see me in the Penguin series. I don't even know what voice I'm doing right now. Yeah, I have COVID, or I am recovering from COVID. So I have been stuck inside my bedroom for a week now. Um, and yeah, maybe I'm going a little crazy, but it feels like I don't know. Maybe I'm in time with the world. It's some sort of I don't even know what's going on. But I figure, yeah, hey, we didn't get to see the Batman during the show, and a lot of people were wondering about that, especially after the penultimate finale there. Uh, but I think the show worked out very well without having Mr. Pattinson in, who is obviously on vacation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that this show stuck the landing. Um, we can go all the way back to how I was feeling about watching this show from the beginning. I wasn't really interested. I got kind of talked into it and am super happy with the result. And I can't believe that every single episode is a banger. And
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't tell anybody you can skip this one or that one. No, you have to watch every episode of this show. And I'm really glad. Here we go. Clancy Brown. That's who is up to. Let's see who
That's who the real Batman is. We will get to Clancy Brown. Jesus. You're right, man. Every episode's a banger.
And I mean, I'm really glad that this show right now was as good as it was. And I personally am fine with them not even doing a second season. I prefer it. I think this is one perfect season, and they'll probably do it, and hopefully it's good. But I think that if they don't mess with it and use this as a jumping off point for their other series, I mean, if this works and they want to do that Joker series, I say just focus on doing that. You've done this, leave it. Let Colin Farrell also take some time out of that suit.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe he'd be more, like maybe to get him back in, it would be give him a nice long break. Do the Joker, the other Batman movie comes out. I don't know. But
well, from what I understand from the interviews with him, he's signed a 3-picture deal. He's definitely going to be in the next one. So he's coming back as the character. But I think, especially with the break and the way that the show is received, he has gone from like, man, I hated being in that suit to like, hey, if they pull out another script that's going to be like, this level, then I'd be interested in coming back. But I'm with you. I think
they already did it.
Yeah, do the anthology, man. Do a Gotham anthology where each series you focus on another bad guy or side character, and if you can keep it at this level. Because, yeah, you're right. I mean, everything... They constructed such an amazing story off of a character I never thought that they would go that deep with, have something so interesting, have me sympathize with the character, and put us in a world where every choice that everybody makes sense, is logical, it's what somebody would do, and yet they made the unexpected choice almost every single time and made that work for every character motivation, every choice, every reaction to things. They kept it fresh but grounded and believable, and we were with the characters every moment. So yeah, man, don't poison it. Leave this as it is, but put this quality into other things. I'm less interested in a Joker, honestly, because we've done, but if you want to do like a Clayface type kind of thing, or Mr. Freeze is the perfect one, but I don't know if that's too sci-fi for this world.
And they're gonna want to save some stuff for the movies.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, I mean, either way, I think they did like, where else can he go? The next step is being in the situation that involves Batman. That's why the bat signal was put out at the end of the episode. It's like, there's no one left in my way. You're goddamn right, right? And then that's when the signal goes off, meaning they need Batman. It's not just the next Batman movie. It's they put the signal out when they really need to get a hold of him about something specific. The correlation is right there. So another series would have to involve Batman, and I think that's what people are getting at. Like the excitement of just, they keep thinking they're gonna get to Batman, and it's like look, the world we live in, I'm not wrong in thinking this, because everybody is just stupid. They don't care if it's good or bad. They just want the thing. So they don't realize, the people that want more of this just for the sake of that don't realize that they already told the story that needed to be told. And it's not like, when I say needed, like we've always wanted the Penguin backstory. No, we didn't want it. We didn't know we wanted it. They gave it to us, and it turned out it was something that we needed, like we really kind of needed right now as far as people. So there's a lot of things to take away from this show.
Sure, but yeah, they gave us something we didn't know that we wanted.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of almost a perfect example of what I said, is how they keep making perfect choices, but not the ones you expect them to.
Yeah. I mean, there was like, I knew they were going to betray her. I figured that out. But I didn't figure that he wasn't going to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was going to go. I mean, he had just already, or he was about to take out Vic.
Right.
So it was like, oh, maybe he is safe, if he takes her out, blah, blah, blah. But nope. There's just nowhere, and even with his mother, where else are you gonna go with that? We dealt with all the mother issues. This was and then some. Holy crap. I mean, a massive chunk of this episode was dealt solely to that. That's the revenge. But anyway.
Well, I mean, again, they use that to wrap around that, as we felt sympathy for Oz in the beginning of the story in certain ways and to identify, it did a great job of progressively, step by step, giving us reasons why he's not the good guy. He's not some, working class hero. He is a villain. And every step from his mother, who in the beginning begs him, don't let me be like that. Don't let when my brain goes, let my body go. I don't want to be like that. So that's exactly what he does because he has to have her. You see how his obsession with being with his mom becomes a way that no, he killed his brothers because he was so obsessed. And by the end, he's having his girlfriend dress up like her. And of course, the whole Vic fucking thing is again, it's a perfect villain story because at the end, he's the villain. He is not the hero at all. He's the protagonist of the story, but he's in no way a hero.
Yeah, this is not supposed to be. This is supposed to be how dark is it gonna get before the proverbial dawn, which is the bat signal, which means somebody's coming to take care of business. Like it's time to knock this guy off, and he's just getting there. So it's like you could say maybe there's time for him to do some more political finagling. Maybe take out the rest of the gangs. How many more gangs are he gonna take care of? Is he gonna start killing politicians if they go for another? I took a bunch of notes on one piece of paper. I was determined not to waste any paper. I thought I could do it, and then I started writing around this thing, like when they find a notebook of somebody's and they go, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, you're doing the circle edges all the way around.
Yep. So I guess we might as well kind of take it from the top, but like, I do want to say that what I was starting to get to was, I'm really happy that this show was as good as it was and that we had such a great time talking about it, bringing it to the people that wanted to hear it. And, because honestly, like I don't think I don't care about really, and this is kind of like, I haven't said this to Darren, but I mean, so he's kind of like, we've been talking about some stuff, and I mean, I still plan on making content. We still plan on making content together. But honestly, with the way things are right now, I don't give a fucking shit about no new movie, no new show. I've got C2E2 2025 in Critical Role in April of next year. That's about the only thing that's kind of keeping me going right now. And talking about some new popular whatever the fuck, I could care less. So on this channel, we're gonna be we're sticking to what I had wanted to do for a while, and we're talking about mostly new things, and only talking about stuff from that I've wanted to talk about forever, because out here in the Outer Rim, and we're not really moving the needle. I'm not trying to move the needle. I don't care about the algorithm or the metrics or any of that bullshit anymore at all. Sub if you like it. Don't sub if you don't. Like if you like, all that crap. Because I'm just kind of done with a lot of this. Entertainment is frivolous. It's something that's supposed to be relaxing and have fun with. And honestly, to me right now, there's not a lot of fun to be had. I don't think this is the time to be. I know people are going to want even more to just suck themselves into entertainment. Basically, I mean, our world's the streaming services and all the things that we surround ourselves with to constantly entertain ourselves is no different than the Greek or Roman Colosseum. You distract the public with entertainment, and as another way to fucking keep them from looking at the real problems. People are bitching about Star Wars and MCU and other bullshit that doesn't fucking matter at fucking all. They'd rather hear stuff about how shitty something is because their lives are shitty. And so everyone can go fuck off and watch that content and care about that kind of shit. Here, We're going to talk about the stuff that makes us fucking happy, as angry as I sound right now. So that's why it's great that this is the show that I'm like kind of ending the current modern day stuff for now. Because until this world gets unfucked in a way that I feel is appropriate, fuck your brand new show that's coming out. I don't give a crap. I won't give you any fucking publicity. I'm sure there'll be plenty of other grifters and people that don't give a shit about society at large that are going to still bend over backwards to pick up that nickel off the ground for a like and subscribe. But not fucking here, baby. So anyway, fuck it.
You know, I really think you should stop holding back, Rob. I really think you need to let go.
Well, people have been saying that Smirking Gun isn't as hard as he used to be. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? You just gave him a reason to be. What was it? How many was it? 72 million reasons? Yeah, 72 million problems. And a brand new show ain't one. So fuck it. We're going to talk about what we want to talk about. So if you come on and go, hey, man, why don't you talk about Yellowstone? Fuck you and your Yellowstone. Shove it up your ass. To the people.
The rest of those Duttons.
This is just in case. And Yellowstone was the first one that came to my mind because I know a bunch of motherfucking hicks and Trumpers and ignorant other bastards worship that fucking show like it's, you know, like why didn't you guys just ask Trump to like make all the cast part of the cabinet too, you dumb fucking hillbillies? Anyway. Hey man, this is a villain show, so make me the villain. I don't care.
I was going to say, well, if we're talking about villains, yeah, but you know, I'd rather go into engaging, intelligent, interesting villains than the cast of fucking clowns that are about to be cabinet position fucks.
Yeah.
Breathe.
So Smirking Gun is going to sound like this when it's time to sound like this. But until then, we're going to go out on a high note and talk about this awesome episode. So Julian's purpose, because I'm just going to segue right into it. Julian's purpose, I guess, was just to have the technology that would eventually bring Oswald's mom to the truth. It was a really awesome way to do it, though. I still say Julian was the only like pretty useless character in the show. He felt more like a prop than anything, but his technology gave us a really great scene. I loved how they did all of it. The fact that we didn't need the younger actress to be in the scene. It was just a way of telling us, the audience, that she is in that moment thinking she's her younger self. And I thought that was
Oh no, did I freeze or did you freeze?
Oh, yeah, I think my internet signal. They're coming for me. The jackboots are at the door. They were
I was gonna say you got too excited too fast there, man.
Yep,
They're gonna lock you down.
What the fuck? Did somebody say something bad about our Orange Lord and fucking Savior? Go look up tariffs before you worry about anything else, you stupid motherfuckers. Anyway, great flashback. Lewis, ton of score flicks. He always plays the heavy.
Okay, we were kind of joking about the whole interference there, but now he's got me worried.
Oh, see if I can turn this the wire and see if that.
Dude, they are on your channel, man. You are being monitored. Elon Musk has you on a list.
Yeah, Starlink, motherfucker. Anyway, we're good. I'm still gonna go through, but knowing what Penguin with Rex Calabrese, and then what was willing to giving things out. Us know that he knew all about what he did. And Sarah O'Connell, I think her name, fantastic. And
Rob, I don't know if it's me or you, but you're dropping in and out like every other word. So, yeah. Hey, it's live technical issues that you get to see here.
I've turned on this. I don't getting a good signal. I'm gonna drop. All right. Am I back at all?
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you all right. Your video's a little spotty, but I think the audio sounded fine.
Gonna maybe.
I spoke too soon.
I'm trying to get.
So hi everyone. Yeah, no, that opening scene with the whole flashback sequence. You're right, and I think that it was important to do it that way because it gave, I think, a through line for the actor. Are we back?
Am I good?
I'm
gonna
talk.
Definitely.
No.
No.
Oh man, this is well, this is the new generation of not put out yet live shows. So maybe if we're going to have technical issues, this is the kind of one to have technical issues with.
Anything? I've dropped down to 360.
Okay, that seemed all consistent there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to talk because yeah, your video's smoother now too. So
Okay. So we're back.
yes, we seem to be back now. Okay, we were talking flashbacks.
No, that's cool. You know what really makes it even better, man? Because it's just like, yep, they're on to me. Yeah, come on, that's brilliant. As awkward as it is, I don't care. I don't care. So yes, the whole thing. I'm gonna pass it over to you. Just because this was so well acted by everyone.
Yeah, and you're right. The one thing with Julian that I think that they did manage to accomplish with him, though, is that he did feel like part of that world. With the weird lights and such, and his demeanor and his kind of obsessiveness with her, but also just as the doctor, and then is like for her, and then at the end is back to his doctor. He is very much a Gotham character, so he feels very much in place, even if he may not be specifically referencing someone or a balance out or whatever that is. And you're right that using those lights and that technology in the way to get this flashback going for Francis, I think was a brilliant use of it. So even as they're forming new parts of the world, they are keeping it in line with the rest of the pre-established art, which is honestly quite an accomplishment.
And just knowing a conversation of like to another person that you'll kid for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in there like listening to him, pretending that you're just biding your time while your child just keep going going, and then turning into the I'm gonna do it all for you, Ma, and just session. She's sitting there and she's with the devil.
Oh, yeah.
Do it in the end. And it's that we should, yes, she made killing her kid. And we know it wasn't going to happen.
Obviously.
But it just shows like her punishment almost is to be for her whole life. Mm-hmm. She didn't, like this is years now, decades. She's still there. She's not gotten anything she wants. She's still in the same place. She's basically been in hell. And Rex Calabrese, he's dead, right? So nobody's helping. And I don't know if they establish whether or not Rex Calabrese is the dad. Why does he care so much? Is he just because he's the guy in the neighborhood?
He's the gangster of the neighborhood, and he's the guy that Penguin wants to be like. He's the guy. Rex Calabrese always had that Cadillac. Everybody loved him. If he needed anything, when he died, there was a parade. That's kind of like who Penguin wants to be. And to find out that, yeah, the guy was about to kill you because you're a fucking psychopath. This is the guy that you're putting up there until his mom decided to save his life. I mean, the irony, the reflections that they have versus the reality versus the expectations, what you think they know versus what they do know, what you think their motivations are, what their actual motivations are. They're fucking brilliant with this shit.
And
I mean, and they keep it so tight.
And they let you decide, I think, for yourself whether or not you think she and Rex, like, were Jack and Benny his kids, or, you know what I mean? Like or did they have some kind of relationship? He seemed like way too familiar with her, but they didn't go ahead and just say it. It didn't matter. You could think either way. Just the way, again, that they weren't, how they conveyed the information in this episode and how they got things across, just even in this scene, I think is just, it says so much about the show as a whole.
Right.
Because this is the big finale and it's just all talking and emotion. There's really not a lot of like shooting or action in this. There's a lot of like just the thing at the airport. Right? Because then like Vic goes out and it's just chaos, but nobody gets shot. He gets punched. But then you got, there is the shootout at the club when he gets loose. But they had to get out of that situation. So it was all just heavy emotional stuff that carried this episode, not action. Not, like some of the action just came out of the conflict, and it was mostly one was
but it wasn't like this is how we beat you in any way. It's like the move was already set, it was already done. That's the thing. It's like we're just seeing those pieces that were already set up or pre-established now just locking into place. An action scene doesn't need to accomplish that. You don't need to push the plot forward. The characters have brought the story forward.
Yeah. And I liked how in Vic's scene where he's yelling at the hierarchy, saying, why aren't you going in there? Because, they'll say, we're just here for the stuff, not for him.
Right.
And how that sets up, like that makes that, what happens later makes this scene so much more important, because I thought it was kind of foreshadowing for Vic, because he's like, you got to know your place or you're going to catch a bullet. But really, I feel like in the end, it was Link listening to him, standing up to all these guys and punching him in the stomach was his way of saving him.
Yeah.
And also him going, he's making very good points. Why are we listening? it was that like quiet questioning of leadership that's been going on just a little bit behind the scenes, so that when they ultimately betray everybody in the end, Godfather style, it's already pre-set up in this little scene that you just kind of thought was, you know, Vic being, you know, having a nice emotional moment of showing his loyalty, so that later when what happens, it's more tragic. But it wasn't just a one note scene to set that up. It was all kinds of things that like paid out.
Oh yeah,
And
it's what
again, like what kind of
yeah.
story we haven't been seeing a lot of stuff like this, the care that has gone into these scripts. I mean, if I was only allowed to be in one show, man, this would be like a good one to, you know, be like, you were in Penguin? Yeah, man. That's it? Yeah, but that's all I needed. And then the big, where is Oz? So they've got him, and man, does he look. It just, I still just can't get over how amazing he looks in that suit. It's just, every time I look at it, I'm just staring at his performance through all of this makeup and prosthetics, and how I know it's hard, but God, does he make it look easy? Never do I think like, while I'm looking at it, that like, is it gonna like kind of droop and look weird or something? Like, it just, even if it like didn't look perfect, they found a way like to patch it up in editing or something that just constantly.
So if this doesn't get a best makeup award, you know, then I don't know what anybody is freaking talking about. Because my kid came out while I was partway through this, and I did a freeze frame, and I'm like, yeah, Penguin here, that person doesn't exist. That's Colin Farrell, who looks nothing like this. This character doesn't exist. It is only here for this show. Yeah.
And you know what's nice about this is that Shogun and the Bear already won all their awards. So when it comes time for award season again, there'll be less competition for this show, because I would say that this is one of those shows that gets nominated in just about every category and loses in almost every category to something else. Although I do think that they would probably still give Colin Farrell the best actor. And I do think that if they don't, because see, everybody across the board should be nominated. He should be nominated for Best Actor. Kristen Milioti should be nominated for Best Actress. His mom should be Best Supporting Actress. The Renzi, who plays Vic, he should be Best Supporting Actor. Guest actor in a series, you could probably throw in freaking Mark Strong as Carmine Falcone. And then you'd have like best score, best makeup, best, you know, cinematography, best screenplay. Like, how do you pick which script is the best? There's so many. I mean, they'd probably go with this one because of its flair and its big moments of emotional like weight. But when you get through this scene where it's like, you knew that finally we get the payoff for the cigarette cutter that she took way back episodes ago. She put that thing in her pocket. Am I all right, or am I frozen? Uh-oh. Anybody hear me?
Did I screw something up?
Oh no, okay.
You're here?
You were frozen, so.
Oh, okay. I was looking at something, so I hit a thing. I'm on my phone, and I'm not used to streaming on my phone.
Okay. No, it's so yeah. That's what I had to say about that. I mean,
I was trying to look over because I can't remember her name, the showrunner for the show. yeah, definitely deserves all the recognition and all the work because this was an amazingly crafted show, and the focus on all of those specifics is what a good showrunner does. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, and this is like, I mean, if I'm Marvel, I mean, I don't think that I don't think DC and Marvel really are even in competition with each other. I think that that's just stupid. Uh, there's enough money for everybody. Trust me, they just keep shelling it out. Again, go to C2E2 any year that everybody's claiming I got no fucking money. I got no fucking money, but I'm gonna go hang out and spend $1,000 on Mark Hamill. I don't have enough money for the eggs that are so expensive. Sorry.
And Mark Hamill will love you whether or not you spend $1,000 for his picture and autograph. I mean, he won't look at you or talk to you. He needs the cash, but
we get the payoff for the cigarette cutter that happened episodes and episodes ago. We knew it was going to come out, and just the commitment to the delusion. There's a moment, I think, where you see him break for just like 1 second, where he knows reality and then rejects it in the same like blink.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Okay, hang on a second here. I've been trying to deal with something. There's a stupid fly that just keeps landing on my laptop because it's the hottest place in the. It's attracted to the heat from the laptop because it's kind of chilly in here. But I work in a cooler and a freezer all day, so I'm hardy.
Yeah.
But I keep doing stuff to like sidetrack myself. But yeah, he breaks for like a moment, and then it is literally up to her to save her own skin, because he is willing to go down with the ship rather than admit to reality. And that his inability to admit to that reality is, to me, what is directly the reason why she stroked out.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're right. And again, it's as we've seen this sort of like, further onion peel away to the reality of what Oz really is. Not like some product of his youth. No, man, he was messed up from the beginning, and it just only got worse. And the fact that, yes, he is willing to let his mother, who he's doing everything for, suffer instead of acknowledging reality, is like, but she's like, you'd fucking let him do it, wouldn't you? You would let him cut off my finger as opposed to freaking say, yeah, it's, and I think that you're right, that shatters her illusion as well at that point, that there's anything that she could have potentially done. There was any of that stuff was like, I thought that at the very least I would try and point you in the right direction, do one thing because you said it was for me. But in the end, it's not. And this is the example. You're going to sacrifice your mom instead of dealing with reality. It's, and you're right. All of that emotion.
This show is so popular, people just not accepting reality.
The delusions will bite you in the end. If there's one thing that this show does actually point out is you will pay for your delusions.
Double down on your delusion. Let your family members suffer and die for your delusion. It is. For all those people who like to scream about current day, well, there you go. You can't go, well, that's not how people act. No, somebody these days would let their whole, like the mom would lose all her freaking fingers and toes, and they'd still be like, no, I will not admit to some stupid mistake. So, and
what's great in that moment too is in some ways it puts a more positive light on Sophia, who now that at least the truth is all coming out, it's like, don't hurt the mom, don't do the thing. I'm getting what I want.
Yeah.
I just want the truth to come out. The fact that she's already just like, get out of town. Look, yes, I want my revenge, but you know what? I'm done with the whole place. She is, in fact, probably the most successful of the characters, could have been potentially, until obviously it turns on her, but the one making the choice of like, I'm getting out. And I just love at that moment how she just she's like, perfect. I need to do nothing else at this moment. I'm going to just let Mom and Oz go at each other, and they will just collapse in this giant mess that I have created.
Yeah.
But of their own creation, I'm just exposing the lie.
Yeah. She's kind of, what she's doing and what's going on with her is easy to miss because you're so focused on him just being incapable, like just watching him and her, like you forget that she's wanting, this is her revenge. She couldn't figure out how to really get him. And I don't think she would hurt her mom. I do think she was still going to kill Oz after the fact.
Oh yeah.
But
no, I think she wants Oz to suffer and die and be gone. But no, I think she actually kind of bonded with Francis in a way when they had those little moments together in the previous episode, which I think was just kind of an astounding little back and forth of realization.
Yeah. And I love that she's like, after all this, like knowing like, okay, he's out there still. It's just like, yep, I'm out. Nobody does that. Nobody writes the character like that. It reminded me of Layer Cake with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Where the guy's like, yeah, all right, I know the writing is on the wall for me. You go to jail or you die in this business. So I'm cashing out and I'm getting the hell out of here because I can. And just like in Layer Cake, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie, get on that, dipshits.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna breathe. It's gonna breathe for a little bit here.
Look, it's just okay. Do you remember A Fish Called Wanda?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm basically Kevin Kline right now, where I just keep going. I'm sorry. You stupid motherfucker! I'm sorry. Are you okay? Because like, what did you make me have to?
Sure. Got a little auto action going on right now. Sure, yep. I get it. Yep. Yeah.
Yep. So it's just one of those kind of days, man. It's one of those kind of weeks, months, years, lives, where it's just like a kind of, I'm having a hard, we're gonna get through this, sort of, but this is how I'm getting through it. Because I'm still talking about shit that goes on because this show reminds me of shit that's going on. So, like in Layer Cake, he don't get away either. And even though I figured there was going to be a betrayal, I still loved the scene where he goes to the councilman.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right after he's just stitched himself up, denies everything. Or he just, he goes right back to the delusion. Ma's fine. They got to get her. Nothing happened. He just kind of, and then he gets Oz'd by Vic. He gives him this, tells him, builds him up, reminds him of who he is. It's kind of what he would try to do, what he would do to Vic is give him that kind of inspirational speech, even if it was in a grave pointed at your head. He's still inspired. He's trying to inspire you while you dig your own grave. And he gets Oz'd himself. So when he gets into that councilman's office and he's just walking around like he owns the place, and just the way he lays it all out, just gonna lay it all at Sophia's feet, I was like, oh my God, I love it. Because no one gets away clean. Not even him. No one got away clean. He thinks he's clean, right? He thinks he's clean, but while his mother is still alive, he'll never be, he can't. That'll always be there. But we'll get to that a little bit in just a little bit.
Sure.
But I mean, and then watching the councilmen join in, and it's just like, good Lord, man. Like, they do it. They're so good at showing us how things happen in reality. Oh yeah,
Well, and
let's go tear down the good, people. Like, well, I mean, she's not good. She's not good anymore. She's a victim, but she became a criminal. But out of the two of them, I mean, look, who is the one that I wanted to see get away? Sophia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but like I said, that's not good either. And everyone gets kind of what they deserve, but then they still leave you a little bit of hope. We'll get to in a little bit, but very shortly probably. But what did you think of that scene? I guess.
Well, what I really enjoyed also was how this really kind of like shows the never-ending pursuit of ambition in a very quick little thing, because now he's all dreamed up. He's going to the councilman. He's like, you can see it's like these are like the places that he wasn't allowed to go before. And now no one's here, and he's walking up, and he's already looking at what the top seat looks like, and he's playing with the gavel, and it's already like, okay, so this is where I'm going next. Yeah, that ambition is constantly hungry, and it's just a very cool scene in that, to see that kind of like he's pulling himself up, he's dusting off, he's all, you're right, he's half bloodied, he's got just like all these almost shabby clothes, but not.
He keeps losing, and then just pivots.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. He's like, oh, I'm in this position. Now we'll go off in this. He's constantly, that's a perfect descriptor right there. And that is really Oz's strength. And you see that here. He takes it all in. He grabs where he wants to go, and he adjusts to make people want what it is that he's selling.
And he's been the guy collecting the information for all this time. So this is I think this is kind of meant to feel like his last thing he can get to, but it doesn't. But in the end, when it works, you feel like, well, no, he probably, like, you believe he'd still get out of any situation if he can do this, but it's like, what's so great about the Penguin is that he's not sure, he can shoot a gun. He's a man, he's a bit, he's a decent sized guy, but he's not, as the character's not known as being action heavy. That's hence the umbrellas for years. He always used them to protect himself and shoot and and go on the offense with them, because he couldn't do it physically. And I love that we have the only thing now, like, that he couldn't beat is about to be the the Batman. You know what I mean? Like, he can't. It's that like, he's smart, so is Batman, so is Bruce. So it's like that thing that he can't get past is that, God, what if I was tough? You know what I mean? Like, if he was actually a force, he could stand up to Batman in that way. But it's also because of the way he positions himself that if Batman goes after him in a certain way, he looks bad because he's going after someone that's supposedly one of them. And I do feel like, again, the key to all that will be unraveling his past, to expose him so that he has nowhere else to go and nothing else to fight for.
Well, I think they made that great choice to make him, you're right, because he was never a physically imposing kind of character. And even though he's a big bull of a guy and obviously very strong if you get up close to him, but he's not the fast guy, but he's a survivor. He can see the layout of what's going on around him, and he knows how to adjust, like you said, pivot, in order to put him in the most advantageous place. Where am I now? I got to get myself back up on top of that. And I think that was a great character piece because it shows that he will work at whatever level. If he's a lower guy, he's working his way back. He's working his way up. If he's up at the top, then he's going to manipulate with those. If he gets knocked back down, then he's got the anger about this, but he has the ambition to try and get back. He can always adjust and be that. And you're right. While I think it's like shows that it's like the way that I saw it at the end really was more along the lines of now he is really in the Batman caliber of villain. The other stuff isn't going to be a touch him. Now it's got to be this level of fight that he's going to be with. You know, it's not going to be this.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it's you know in the Batman in the movie, you know, he was a lower level guy that just got pushed around and talked about, and he adjusted and did whatever. Now it's not going to be that lower level from Batman who's like, yeah, you're just this guy. Now it's going to be like dealing with like fucking Kingpin or dealing, you know, the real high guys, not to jump companies right there. But that level of stuff, which just makes it more interesting. It's making the crime in Gotham a more organized, chaotic, both organized and chaotic mess. It's bigger, it's more dangerous. And I think that again just shows that now he's at that level. Before he wasn't, but now he's at that level to compete.
Yep. And so after, okay, so we should get to the betrayal. When she's lighting her place on fire to Nirvana. Well, see, yeah, where did you sleep last night? I'm trying to remember if that's if Kurt wrote that or if that was somebody else, a cover. Because I know they played Nirvana in the Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. I loved the use of it. And then, like, just her feeling so good, burning it all down. Part of the reason her revenge was because she couldn't get it from her dad. She couldn't bring her father back to make him suffer, to make him confess. So all she could do now was to just burn it all to the ground, take what she could and burn it all to the ground. And that like realization that he somehow still got out of it, but it wasn't because of him. It was because of Vic and Link, them setting that up is why he got to be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
And so when, he's, taking her out to Miller's Crossing there at the end and look into your heart. And just going just being defeated. Like she tries the door, she could fight. She could try to smash, but why? Like she's basically resigned herself that she lost. And when she says, I didn't see you, you're right. I didn't see you, but your mom did. And she knew you were a monster this whole time. And it's just like that last rub of what else can you do when somebody's about to kill you?
Yeah.
Man, you just got to stick it to them psychologically. But the thing is he don't even recognize that. And since we know now what he was planning on doing, which was making it a fate worse than death, I could kill you. Now I let you think long and hard before that shot that never came, that you knew I was going to kill you, and then I'm putting you right back in hell for what you did to me. Now I know you're somewhere suffering because you disrespected me, because you did this to my mother, because of whatever psychotic reason he needs. Because if she's dead, and for a psychopath like him, I would think if you're dead, he can't fuck with you anymore.
It's a much better revenge to put her back in the hell that is Arkham than to give her the easy out of being killed.
But
I mean,
also
it's
love it
so
because
much crueler.
It's a comic book ending.
Oh yeah. Oh no, and it works so perfectly for that. Oh my god, we could have a character come back that we don't kill, but it totally makes sense why we don't kill them.
Yeah.
Oh, be still my heart. God.
Like
It's like,
somebody watched Spider-Man No Way Home before they wrote the script to this, because it was like that's the first time that Spider-Man finally acted like Spider-Man.
yeah, I know.
Stop these guys, not kill them. and you know what's funny is out of the mouth of babes. Right? They're the younger ones. They're the ones who are like, wait, why are we doing this? Oh, it's not to kill. It's to help.
Yeah.
And stopping them.
Imagine that.
Just helping innocent civilians. It's helping the person who's doing the hurting because something made them this way. Oh my God. To actually think that maybe you could help someone that might have made mistakes. Wow. And I mean, I know that that's not what this show's trying to do.
Sure.
Trying to rub it, but it gives us a plot. It gives us something else. And then I'm just glad that it gives us Kristen Milioti again. You know, she's going to be back with Selena Kyle being her stepsister, and meaning she's also not going to be stuck there probably for very long. A cat burglar. She's going to need somebody to break her out of Arkham.
You have delicious options you have now left that you can use or not use or adjust, as opposed to let's kill the villain and then it's all this is so much better. It keeps things so much more open-ended and doesn't give us the horrible trope of I kill everybody else and then I get to you and go, there's been enough killing, and then for some reason, we leave the one big villain actually alive after we've killed everybody to get them, and it feels like some sort of victory. No, this is perfect. The villain left the other villain alive because it's more torturous. And again, that leaves you options for story and character and branch off points, whether you use them or not. Which, I have a feeling that they will. I think this was one of the handoffs that the showrunner did for Matt Reeves. I'm not sure how it's going to be used or what, but it's like you can see that there's these little things that they took off of, that she took off of Reeves' story, and then she leaves a couple of things for him to take off if he wants to do that or not. I think that is great collaborative storytelling. You're building the world. You're opening the options as opposed to restricting.
And now I guess we need to finish. So let's talk about the death of Vic.
I don't know. We had a lot of discussions about this and where this was going to go and what we thought and what we hoped.
Well, I had said, hey, we're either going to see how does a henchman, become that second in command that's next to the guy at the end of the movie, or ends up in a ditch. And it really could have gone any way. I know that they say, and I think the actor even said there's no other way to do it. And after seeing all the way to the end, yes, there was no other way. It was just figuring out the justification. And the justification just lies in the delusion.
I must be free of anything that connects me. And if you care for me, if I care for you, you must be gone, or I will be limited.
Yeah. Even though he's got his girl, he's got his mom. He didn't erase them. He kept Sophia alive. She's somewhere, but somehow Vic is the one that has to die. Now, you could say because he doesn't think Sophia's ever getting out, right? And my mom isn't actually ever going to wake up. I think in some part of his brain, he knows that. And then Eve, well, he just needs a mother substitute.
Yeah.
So the thing about Vic and him is that he believed Oz is so good at, he's like Patrick Bateman. It's that faking that there's a human being there. You know, that you look at me and you see a human being, but I'm just not there. And he thinks he means it right up until he doesn't. He makes you believe that he feels it up until he doesn't. So when he just does that turn of just, hey kid, you know, like, and just doesn't even like emotionally break. I mean, that was Hannibal Lecter level murdering right there. Doesn't break a sweat. Pulse probably never raised. Just even keel. He was going to die no matter what. He just needed to be able to justify it. He's his last link to being caught if they look for him. And to me, in the end, as much as he's, you know, believed that he cared, it was still your way for me to get caught, which means I can't help my mom. And since the guy said I had to be clean, you're the only thing that could tie me to anything. Bye, Vic. And Vic being that true believer, that kind of a sucker that some would say of just, that's why in the end, like when I saw the scene and I was thinking about the thumbnail, we were trying to come up with titles for this thumbnail.
Yeah.
Or what I wanted to do for a thumbnail for this. And I just looked at it and popped into my head that line from the first Batman. You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? This is what happens when you dance with the devil by the pale moonlight. You die. And as tragic as it is, it's a cautionary tale, you know? Be careful who saves your life, you know? Like, I mean, the way that their whole relationship started was, I mean, it's like he might not have fired that bullet in the grave, but I think he did. It just took a long time for that bullet to find him. Kind of how, like, I don't really think now that it was foreshadowing what the guy said about, you know, watch what you say, you know, now to know your place, otherwise you'll catch a bullet and you're dead. You could maybe say it's foreshadowing or something, but in the end, it's still just one other thing that Oz had to remove in the end. And he seems fine with it because, again, it was for the greater good. He says it wasn't for nothing. But it's just like but if it wasn't like he erased him, throwing that ID was like basically this kid wasn't like his whole family's gone.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is, and throw his ID in the river.
Clean getaway.
This person no longer exists. This person that helped you get there. And that is like such, as dark as it is such beautiful storytelling. I can't believe, you know what I mean? Like, as dark as it is, like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, plus, oh my God, thank you for telling me such a good story. Because in real life, who dies?
Well, I mean, and I got to say, that whole final scene to me was such an interesting emotional journey because obviously I am hoping that, you know, yeah, you got through it. Victor and Peggy, you guys are going to move on. You got to do a henchman. We got new potentials going on. You know, you look at the bright side. And I can't remember what the first part is, but, you know, I think when Penguin goes, yeah, finish off the bottle.
Yep.
So that was like,
I was wondering if that's what was going to happen, and he did. I was like, he's going to give him the fucking bottle to drink it. Like it's the last cigarette.
Yeah, well, but it also reflects back to the first. You know, they're sitting in the same place where they had their suicides, talking about the suicide slushies. You know, and he did the thing and, you know, was like, hey, why don't you take a look at the sunrise? We got a nice sunrise going up, right? You know, it's that same kind of like last distraction. So it's like, well, suddenly we're back at this place. And because Victor had in a way, oriented or created this upheaval of the first lieutenants going after the big guys now. I'm like, is he going to try and take out Oz, and Oz is going to turn it around? How is this going to play? So there was so much kind of emotion of how this was going to work itself out, because once he said the bottle thing, I was like, oh, fuck, he's dead. How is he going to die? Is he going to be caught trying to betray? But no, and you're right. I think by killing Vic, he removes any connection to his crimes. But Vic makes that one big mistake. He goes, yeah, man, it's like, you're family to me.
Yep.
And he's like, no, I can't have that. That weakness I can't have. I've got to clear this. Is like, there was anything to like put the nail in the coffin, to me, it was the moment that Vic said that, is he killed himself. If there was any thought or waffle or calculus that was still going on in Oz's head, that's when it all zeroed out. And you're right. He had probably thought sometime before, like, well, I'm gonna have to kill Victor. I like him. He's done a good job for me. He was there for me. But this is what the job is. And to be perfectly honest, you can find the logic. Hey, I was gonna kill him and I let him live longer. He did something good with that extra time, but he was always going to die.
Yep.
You can see where he could just. You're right. He can make whatever story he wants in his head, and that is reality to him. Kind of reminds me of someone else, except much less capable.
You know what else is like the Emperor, like that? No, like.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Yeah, like when just like faced with like this is happening, he's just like, nope. Like he just won't. He'll go the full 9. Doesn't matter. Put a gun up to anybody's head. That person's gonna be dead.
But yeah, and then when he
Emperor
just turns
Penguin,
and just
that was gonna be Bill in the chat just put Emperor Penguin. That was what I was gonna write for my stupid name, but I was like, I was like the pictures below usually hide what we write as our names. So I was like, nobody's going to be able to see that it says Emperor Penguin anyway. Damn it. So
yeah.
There you
go. Bill, you're on it as always. Yeah, so I mean, and it was just at the end, just that he just grabs him and just chokes him out with the pleas of, Oz, what are you doing? What are you doing, Oz? No, Oz, what's this? Just like, yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a little too meek, but whatever.
Sure. But again, it just shows how much that he had put his trust in Oz, how he had made, again, that fatal error of not watching his own back.
And he probably thought that it was like something was wrong before he realized I'm going to die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he was, the confusion is what got him. Because
he knows his mom's history with whatever. He's like, okay, maybe there's just like there's some sort of misunderstanding or something going on, and but too late.
Well, and I think also, I mean, it wasn't even the whole family thing. I think also he saw Penguin at his weakest when he was crying and broken and done, and it's like, you saw me at my weakest. I can't allow that.
That was also part of what I thought too, was like, it's like a bunch of reasons, but the one he used was the one like that he could really say, like, you just can't come with me. Sorry, buddy, like.
Yeah.
But then to end up with the top hat, it's not on his head.
I know. I was hoping. I'm like, are we going to get the full umbrella shot? If he pulls out a monocle, I'm done. Though
the top hat was perfect. I love that. He just like all versions of the Penguin. Eventually, he hits the glass ceiling. Eventually, somebody says that somebody like around him, somebody that he's trying to be, is going to be the one that says, you don't belong. and that's when we're gonna see some real shit.
Yeah. But we know that
will break that veneer. He can't do that. Like he hasn't, like, I don't think he's learned yet that he's got to keep up appearances. And the one thing you can't do, well, that's not true. In our world, you can do basically fucking anything in front of everyone. Millions and millions of people can see you do it, say it, think it, feel it, and it don't fucking matter. Now, I think the show would try to do something different, something like sane and right. And but we're not talking, when fiction gets it better than real life, our lives have become fucking absurd parodies of bad movies.
No, I think
Roland Emmerich level bullshit. I was talking to somebody today about how everybody's going to be just like the vice president character in a disaster movie who like oversteps and like decides to go against the good guys for what he thinks is the right decision. And then when it all blows up in his face, the character always goes, "I'm sorry. I didn't know he would get this bad."
See, that excuse doesn't fly anymore, folks. It is that bad.
I didn't know that the crazy person would be crazy.
Yeah, what is it? I've been seeing the leopards eating faces party. Like, I didn't want leopards to be eating my face, says person who voted for the leopard face eating party. So the meme's probably funnier than I just said that. But look, I think I think people aren't looking at the bright side of this.
Yeah.
And that is, if this administration, if this current reality has proven anything, is that apparently, despite what we've been raised to believe, that neither experience, proficiency, or knowledge in a field or job is a requirement to have any job. So if you want to be a CFO, a CEO, a skydiver, and you have never done anything about that, apply anyway, because maybe skydiving you want to have a little bit of experience.
Charge now, so I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah,
criminals need to be literally people convicted of multiple double-digit felonies, admitted rapists, convicted of these things can, in the same year, become president of the goddamn fucking stupid ass United States.
Look, you have a guy that is under ethics investigation, criminal investigation point for underage sex trafficking.
Oh yeah,
is going to be our attorney general.
Yeah.
So, white is black, up is down, night is day.
Cats and dogs living
together, mass hysteria.
The worst parts of the Bible, everybody. The worst parts of the Bible.
Yeah. So,
hey,
this is a world that Penguin would flourish in.
Halloween already happened because I think the Handmaid's Tale costumes would probably be the most popular costumes this year.
Yeah, they're not costumes anymore, folks. That's it's going to be mandatory dress.
Yeah, it's not cosplay anymore. Under his eye, motherfucker.
Look, and before I know we're probably getting towards wrap up, but I do want to at least make one little statement since we didn't get to talk about since we skipped last week's episode. First up, as always, I want to give it up to Clancy Brown, who obviously I view as a model of my life. But that whole scene with the underground fight between Salvatore and Oz, the fact that it comes down through him, the fact that he has a heart attack and dies in the middle of it, denies Oz that victory. That whole sequence was so freaking brilliant. I mean, again, I love Clancy Brown. He can do no wrong, and he played that role so well. And I think I heard him describe it in the after show bit. Is Salvatore was all heart and passion, and that's what took him out, is he had too much heart and passion. But I just love, again, those unexpected choices that work so perfectly. The big action fight between him and Oz that you're expecting in any other story? No, we're going to end it with Sal having a heart attack. We're going to deny that victory so much that it pisses Oz off. He's shooting him. He's yelling at him. What are you doing? Dying. We're supposed to... you're supposed to admit that I'm the best. Ah! It was just, it works so fucking well. Anyway, I really have to talk about Clancy Brown whenever I can.
No, I was, I'm glad, because we probably would have finished off without going back to it. It wasn't again, the show's subversion of expectations is the best way to do it. Like, again, penultimates usually have are the big, and instead, it was action, but it was mostly like, oh shit, we didn't get the fight.
Right.
And it's just, again, it just shows from beginning to end, top to bottom, every single person who put this show together, and the cast and crew and the people who allowed this to be made in the way that it was made, because there could have been so many ways that they could have messed with it, with changes and studio notes and reshoots, and somebody sticking their nose in saying, we need Batman in this show, or all the ways that somebody could screw something up. That's why I'm like, I like this in its own little snow globe. One perfect season. Now, do the anthology, like you said. The HBO's makes anthologies, and that White Lotus show an anthology show, kind of. Keep doing that. Tales from the Crypt was an anthology show. Let's do something different all the time. True Detective is different every single time. Okay, so keep doing that. Keep doing that. I mean, not that anybody who would have watched this episode made it this far after all the shit I've said. That some HBO executive got past all of that and then went, huh. Not only was he right about the fascists, but
I know. David Zaslav likes and subscribes. Yeah.
No, if you watched it, that's engagement. If you know what I'm saying? So I don't care.
Well, Andy, speaking of Batman, I remember
YouTube in a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, God. I think I've only made that once out of the many years that I've been on YouTube. So yeah, not here for making the money. But one thing that I remember from the end of last week is with the big explosion in the, taking out of a city block, that there were a lot of people that were like, well, if you don't have Batman here, this won't make any sense. And to a certain extent, I understand that point, and they're correct. Except, one, this wraps up the following day. There is no time for Batman to do anything. But it does show an escalation of crime that when The Batman Part 2 starts, you can have, the Nirvana going on. It's like, April 14th, 2020. The city's gotten even worse. Whole block's been destroyed. I have to find it. I have to, whatever his thing is. I still have to do this, but I guess he's just much more soft. He doesn't have the gravel voice, I don't think, anymore. But to me, this actually leads kind of perfectly into this as a sign. And none of the events in this show are something that would necessarily garner his attention at this stage in his career. So to me, it totally works that you leave it off on a thing that might get Batman's attention, but is still, this story is wrapped up before he would get involved. You know.
And clearly, some bit of some kind of time has gone by before that last scene. So because a whole bunch of things stack up in this show that would cause them to need like the complete eradication of the main crime families that are in Batman canon. The Maronis, the Falcones, those are the names that are always in Batman. They've been wiped out. And now like this new kind of crime is showing up. Like it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So this video wasn't perfect, but this show just about was. But
a little rough start, but
but that's what I love about it is it's real and it's happening and it's as chaotic as life itself. What's perfect? It shouldn't be perfect, but I love that like we're in the middle of having all these passionate arguments about all kinds of things and the camera doesn't want to work and all that stuff. We carried on, you know what I'm saying? We even talked even longer. It doesn't matter. We still fought through it. I didn't give up and go, well, the stream's over, everybody. Like, no, this is perfect. It's a perfect way to end it because it's real. Some real shit, and I guess that's all I have to say anymore about this. I loved it, and don't ruin it if you make a second season. Don't bother making a second season. Focus on the anthology. And, hooray, James Gunn universe. Yay. I don't care. It'll be fine, And when the next time you see us, we'll be talking about things that aren't aren't current. We'll be talking about stuff from the past that we want to talk about. So, I don't know. What else do you got? You got anything?
No, I think that pretty much covers it all. Again, I think the show did a great job of, they said this is the bridge between the Batman and the Batman Part 2, and I totally feel that. You're right. An amount of time has passed. The danger has grown. It's becoming a crazier place. And I am excited about whatever next level stories that they're doing. And I think, if anything, the show succeeded on that level as I want to see more of this world, these people, these things. You have generated a certain hunger or appreciation in me as a fan. And I would just, my only caution with that would be, keep the quality and not the quantity.
Yep.
DC has 2 shows effectively in their universe right now between this and Peacemaker. And they're up against, a slew of Marvel projects, television projects in the same period. And if we're looking at quality levels, I'm good with DC maintaining the way that it is. If I only get one show every year or every 2 years or something that's going to be this good. I love the Marvel stuff, don't get me wrong. But it has been a widely varying quality and widely varying focus. And I really think if you're going to spend the time to do it right. And we would definitely take a lot less if you're going to keep the quality up than trying to go the other way and just fill up our eye holes with things. We don't need more eye hole fillers.
Yeah. And I guess I would, off of what you were saying, and I was reading what Bill said about a lot of daytime in the show. When you say we want to see more of this world, I want to see more of this Gotham because this is the Gotham that feels alive, feels like a character in the show, expands on it, and it makes me more excited for the Batman 2, which I wasn't that excited about. I know that I'm in the minority again about that, but I wasn't that excited about the Batman 2. But I'm also, just because I've talked about how I've seen every kind of Batman ever, and I'm just like over it, I guess. But now I'm not over it. It's like when Zdarsky took over the Batman comic book and went, I was about to get out. And they pulled me back in with a writer. I was like, this is going to be the last ride, right? This is going to be the last Batman book I read. And then they make Absolute Batman that just came out with Scott Snyder, and they're doing their new version of Batman. And I'm like, and it's great. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, they haven't shown me everything, you know what I mean? So
yeah, the character's the draw, but it's the world and story that keep us engaged.
Yeah. And I wasn't won over on this world until this show. So like, that's why I said at the very beginning of this, better than the Batman. Yeah. Kind of to me.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it did get a leg up for being R-rated, and not, you know, but guess what? It didn't stop people from seeing it. It got even bigger numbers. That's why I'm saying the world is ready for an R-rated Batman. Just do it like this. You know, where the cop gets shot in the face and all right, you can
just need to be just a few face shots.
Hey, and your kids are going to see a hell of a lot worse in the next coming years. So don't be all butthurt over a violent Batman movie when you're going to see violence everywhere soon. Yay! Fuck my life. That's the Penguin. It was awesome. Life sucks. So try to find some joy in it while you can. Find community. Be good to each other. The rest of you can get fucked. This is Robin Smirking Gun. D.
Rob, thanks for having me. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all of that stuff. We're gonna push it right at the end here. Anyway, we'll catch you all next time.
I love all of you, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Go hug someone you